guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you saw the title of today's video, you know that I'm trying to pick my Pan That palette for 2019. I have a couple options here, but before we get into it, I'm just going to chit chat a little bit. So I'm doing horrible on my low buy, no buy, whatever it is. I've kind of just given up. I've been buying way too much. Like, I have a problem. It's actually really bad. But 2019 is a new year. I don't know what it is. Like, for the first, 6 months of the year, I was so good. And, that's actually amazing because my birthday is in the first 6 months of the year. Like, the first 6 months of the year, I'm so good. And then all of the holiday stuff comes out, and I'm like, I need it all. Like, just give it to me. And it's so bad. And I've spent so much money, but I'm trying really hard. No promises because next week is Thanksgiving and I'm going to the Mall of America. So no promises, but I do want to do a Pan That palette for 2019. I've decided this because there's something big that's going to be happening in the first 3 months of the year. I've been kind of hinting at it in other videos, and I'm gonna probably make a chatty get ready with me, giving more information about what it is and where I'm going or whatever. But I don't have, I have the details, but I'm like 95% sure that I'm going, but I need to be 100% sure before I tell everybody. With me being 95% sure that I'm going on this thing, I'm pretty, a Pan That palette is going to be the best option for me because I'm probably not going to be wearing makeup for 3 months. I know I'm definitely not going to be filming videos for 3 months. I can't film any videos for the first, half of January to April. I can't film any videos. So I think that a small palette is going to be the best option for me to continue on this panning journey. I know I'm probably not going to be wearing makeup for a little bit in the beginning of the year. But if I pick a small palette, I'll be able to work on it for the rest of the year and probably have some success rather than if I pick a huge palette. I don't know, I saw some people pick the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette and I'm like, good for you, girl. Set your goals high. I would like to eventually pan a big palette like that, but that's just not going to be possible next year. So I have some options and I want to do other videos next year that I'm thinking about, a weekly makeup basket. So I don't want to be what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to be restricted to the other, bringing other things in, if that makes sense. I've done a lot of shopping this year, which is horrible. When I do my end of the year inventory, you're gonna be like, girl, what you doing? It's horrible. My eyeshadow numbers went up so much, but everything I have makes me happy, and school's been so stressful. I don't know. I need to control my spending habits, but right now that's not possible. So I want to be able to pull in all of the new things that I got while still working on something to pan. Does that make sense? And I know that if I pick a big palette, I'll feel more restricted. I have to use this palette up before I use the new things I bought. But if I pick a smaller palette with a limited amount of shades, I can be like, oh, I can bring in this palette this week, and next week I can bring in this palette, and I won't feel as restricted. This year with my eyeshadow Project Pan Roulette project that I was doing, trying to hit pan on as many eyeshadows, it was good. I used so many different palettes and I hit pan on so many different eyeshadows, but when I had 5 eyeshadows at a time, I felt like I had to make a look out of those like out of just those eyeshadows, and I would stick to those 5 eyeshadows and not use the rest of the palette. So I still felt like I wasn't getting a lot of use out of my collection because I was trying to hit pan on those certain eyeshadows. Like, I know, like, I could have used, like, the whole, like, 5 days a week, pick a palette with the one shade, make a look from that palette with that one shade, and then the next day, like, and it would have taken me longer to hit pan on it, but, like, my brain works like, hit pan as fast as you can, use those shades every day. Like, I don't know, I'm crazy. I don't know, whatever. So that's where I was thinking. So I'm thinking about doing a small palette for the year of 2019, and I've picked some out, but I can't narrow it down to one. So I'm going to show them to you, and then please comment down below what you think, what palette you think I should pick, because I need help. So I have 4 palettes, but like 3 options. So let's just go over each one of them. The first option is my oldest palette. This is the old Kat Von D Saint palette. This is one of her original palettes that she came out with. She doesn't make these anymore. It looks like this. And as you can see, I've used it quite a lot. I almost have pan in this shade, which is Enjoy the Silence, and then I almost have pan in this shade, which is Downtown. The only issue with me picking this palette is the only mattes in this palette are this shade right here, which is like a light pink, but it still has silver glitters in it. Like, it's not a shimmer, it's just like it has glitters in it. And then this dark brown is a matte, and that's like a true matte. And then this one next to it has like a matte base, but it has gold shimmers in it, if that makes sense. Like, the rest of them are like a shimmery metallic formula. This one is like a matte formula with glitters in it. So the only issue with this is that there's no like matte browns, and whatever palette I pick, I'm going to bring with me on my trip where I'm going. Even if I'm not going to be wearing makeup, like a lot of makeup for the 3 months, I just want to bring something just to have it with me just in case. And like, this is small enough, like, it's a very small palette, so it would be small enough, but there's no mattes in it. So that's the only issue that I have with this. But it is my oldest palette, so that's why I was thinking about panning it. But there's just no mattes. So I don't want to bring any like extra things. I don't have to. I just want to bring like one thing and be done with it. And yeah, I could probably use like a bronzer. If I brought a matte bronzer, I could use that as like a transition shade and then just stick one of those on the lid. But I don't know. The second option is my smallest palette. So this is the Viseart Petite Pro Volume 1. This is the first one. And this is what it looks like. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. So it has 4 mattes, 4 shimmers. I was thinking about this because it has just as many mattes as shimmers. It has a white, it has a really dark color, it has a transition shade, and then it has light to dark shimmers, and it's extremely tiny, like it wouldn't take up that much room, and I feel like I could actually probably finish this one in a year. I don't know. This one is a big contender, but I'm not positive. So this is option 2. It's not very old, like I just got it last year, I want to say, but it made the list because it's small and it has mattes and shimmers in it. The third option is actually 2 palettes. This is what I was actually leaning towards before I thought about it more. Like, in my brain I was like, oh, that's exactly what I'm gonna do, because then I can pull in other things. Let me just show you. I have 2 of the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Contour Quads. I have Rust and I have Plum. And I thought, if you've never seen these before, they look like this. This is the Plum one. It's just 4 matte shades, and this is the Rust one. And I've already hit pan in the shade right here. So I would have 8 matte shades to use for the entire year. So I would have all the mattes that I need for the entire year in these 2 palettes, and then every week I would pull a weekly makeup basket palette, and then I could use whatever shimmers were in that palette, and like feel free to use whatever shimmers were in that palette without feeling restricted that I had to use the shimmers in my Pan palette. So that's why when I was originally thinking like what I was going to pan for 2019, I was like, oh, I'll just pan my Kat Von D quads. But then I was thinking about the smallest palette for my trip, which has everything that I would need. And then I thought about, but I have my oldest palette. And then I was like, oh, I could put these 2 together, and then I have shimmers and mattes. But I don't know. This is why I need help. These are my options. Please let me know what you think. These are, I want to say I bought these. They're not as old as this one, but these I got my freshman year of college, and I'm about to graduate college, so they're kind of old. But I do, like I said, I do already have pan in this one, so I've been using them. And each one, it outlines like base, define, contour, highlight. So you can get a whole look out of these if you wanted to do an all matte eye. I personally like to put a shimmer on the lid, but that's just me. So yeah, those are my options for my Pan palette 2019. I would really appreciate if you would tell me your thoughts on which I should pick. That's all I have for you today. Please keep an eye out for my coming, I think I'm going to do a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me. I haven't done one of those in a very long time. But maybe I'll pull out some new products that I just bought and do a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me and talk about what I'm doing next year, why I'm not going to be able to film videos in more detail. But I just need to wait until I get the yes 100%, it's all set in stone, you're good. So that should be in like a week or a week and a half or something. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So keep an eye out for that. So I'm trying really hard to get new videos filmed and edited and put up, but I've been super busy with school. The semester's almost over, so it's like crunch time, you know, like at the end of the semester where like the professors like assign like everything in a row. So I've been super busy with school and work, but I know that's the excuse I always make. I just need to find time. But other than that, that's all I have for you today. So please, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe down below and hit the little bell to get notifications of when I upload videos. And please leave comments down below of which palette I should pan for 2019. And thanks for watching. Bye!